Hey everybody, Mark Horner from Seattle, Washington, and we're going to go straight to it. We're going to give you a live look at a prescribed burn, as I understand it, up near where the White Rock Lake fire has been at Okanagan Lake in southern British Columbia. This prescribed burn, I believe, is part of the plan to create some defensible space, if you will, for
Yes.
nearby homes. And there's no sense of tremendous urgency, but it is making for some scenic skies, to say the least. Let's go straight to Christian Sasse, who is there. Let me see if we can bring us up here in a 2-box, and we can. There is Christian. Christian, first and foremost, people who follow this channel, they need to know how your house is doing there in the La Casa Cottage Resort. Everything okay for you?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that kind question. It's very, very good actually. After some time, we've come back to our house this morning, and we are very lucky. We are very lucky, Mark. Everything's fine. Thank you.
Yeah, you say that because the White Rock Lake fire actually did burn some nearby homes just north of you, just up West Side Road, right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I'm just looking in that direction now. I'll turn the camera in a moment, but that's completely correct. Yes, yes,
Okay, so
that's
let's go
right.
ahead and again, we'll emphasize this is a prescribed burn. Go ahead, if you can flip your camera and show us a live picture, Christian, that would be great.
Okay. So first of all, that's the view to the Okanagan Lake. Let me first show you where we are. Looking straight ahead, that's north, and that goes towards Vernon, right? And the West Side Lake Road is the road that you see right up there. That's closed. That just closes around the corner where the Fintry Fire Department is, and the controlled burn that just started this afternoon is what you're looking at here. Now, this looks really horrific, doesn't it? And I guess in about an hour when it gets dark, I should be able to, with my equipment, which I just set up there, be able to see the flames through the smoke. You can also, you should be able to hear now and then some helicopters whizzing by. I can just make out one. You probably can't see it because of the uh, poor resolution of the iPhone, but I think you can just hear the chopper just coming back now with carrying some water. I think you can probably hear the chopper, but I can see it flying right through there. And after that, they would go fetch more water and then come back again. And they would refuel, as I believe, just around the corner there, where there's an open field in Fintry. I think that's where the refuel station is.
Very
So
good.
yeah, it looks yeah. Go ahead.
Well, right before we went live, I would say about 10 minutes before we went live, you sent me a video clip that you had taken, I guess, just moments earlier. So I would say
Yes.
sometime during the 7 o'clock hour still. Let's go ahead and take a look at this, and you should be able to see it too. There we
Oh
go.
yes, I do. I do see it. Yes.
So this is a
Exactly.
closer look. This is even closer.
Yes, that's the advantage, of course. With the iPhone, I could zoom in a bit more, and you can, yeah, well, you can clearly see that that looks like a dangerous fire. At the same time, it apparently is not. I say apparently because that's what I want to believe. And it seems like a controlled fire. You can see it. It looks like a ring or a wall of fire that or smoke in this case. You don't see much, but you just see the smoke, and it's supposed to burn off the this side here of the mountain, which is the west side of the mountain, so that we will be protected in case there's another strong wind. It'll act like a firewall.
Okay, very good. So, and everything that everything I'm seeing on social media from, just local residents as well as news sources, I believe, to include Castanet, if I'm saying that correctly,
Yes,
have
absolutely.
indicated
Yes,
this is a prescribed burn. So,
yes, that's correct.
yeah. So, Christian, what is I guess the tone there now? There was a great deal of apprehension just a few days ago, but it seems like the anxiety for now has come down. Of course, that's no consolation for the people who lost their homes.
Yes, I believe there about, if and please don't quote me on this. I thought I read about 70 homes that have been lost here, which is of course horrific. Um, People consider themselves extremely lucky. Those who didn't get affected, of course, are very grateful. And everybody asks themselves now, what is it going to be next year? I mean, that's also going through my mind. I think, fortunately, when we drove from Vancouver this morning, the temperatures have drastically dropped, which is good. That means high humidity, lower temperatures. And I noticed in the Coquihalla, we could see that's the drive you take from Vancouver if you drive east to Kelowna. It became very noticeable. There's still the fires are still there, and you can see the flames and so on. But it is definitely not as dangerous now. And we just hope that the temperatures will stay as they are, because they're moderately in the 60s, if at most in the 70s, which is very moderate. If they stay like this, I think we'll be fine this year.
Christian, how was the drive for you visually coming back to Okanagan Lake this morning? It's been several days, and in between your visits
Yes.
there, like we've mentioned, homes have burned. But coming from Merritt, forward through the Coquihalla, was it much more noticeable, the fire damage along your drive?
Absolutely, Mark. It's right next to the highway, and we could also see where it jumped the highway. I hadn't seen that before, but that when I went home, then these strong winds. I think that was the last Sunday where the strong winds happened, and Merritt was threatened as a city. And Merritt is still in a lot of haze, so it's very clearly visible that there's about 20 miles south of Merritt to Merritt is very hazy. And this morning when we came into Kelowna, it was also very hazy. And in fact, when we came here to La Casa, to the resort, it was also hazy. I could not see across the lake. I just wanted to show you quickly what it looks like. I mean, here you can see clearly across the lake now. So that's looking on the east side of the lake where all the vineyards are. And yeah, so I just thought it's going to be like that, and so then hour by hour it cleared up. It still looks hazy, as you can see, but it's a lot better. I can now look north towards Vernon very easily.
Are you in La Casa Cottage Resort neighborhood right now?
Yes, absolutely, that's right. Here,
Okay.
that's the lower part, and we live actually in the upper part. That's exactly right. That's what it looks like, and that's what I'm looking at from La Casa, right at the fire now.
I'd like to share a tweet that you put out. It's on screen now. A bit earlier this afternoon, you tweeted this video. You talked about the wildfire now near Fintry, very close to La Casa West Side Road. Again, we want to
Yes.
emphasize this is all part of a prescribed burn.
Correct. I
Let's,
didn't know that at that time. I
right, you had
wasn't
just
sure,
literally
but
arrived in town earlier today.
yes,
So I
yes,
thought
and then
that.
I learned that. Yes,
Where were you when
correct.
you shot this, Christian? And was this
A very,
afternoon as
very
well?
similar, almost the same position. It's maybe a parallel street, but it's all. This is the best corner that you can get to for this. Yes, yeah.
Okay.
It's very close to here.
Is there any chance, I know we might have a tenuous cell signal there, but is there any chance that you
That's
could show
okay.
us your photography equipment? I know you've got an 800
Yes.
millimeter lens. Tell us
Yeah.
about the advantages of the equipment that you have, and also
Sure.
your hopes for tonight.
Yeah. So let's start with the. I have a Sony video camera, as you can see here. It's a 4K video camera that has a very good zoom range and also is also quite light sensitive. It's on a tripod, and that gives me a wide field of view. As you can see, it would give quite a wide field of view. If I really want close-ups, I have this huge monster here that's actually effectively not 800, but it's actually, because it's got a 1.2 converter, it comes, I think, to 940 or 960 millimeters. And then I can look at the footage here at the back. So I can really zoom in on helicopters or whatever. And tonight, what I'm going to try and do is longer exposures and look through the smoke, because with longer exposures, as we do it in astrophotography, you can look behind or into, not behind, but into the smoke, and you should be able to see flames much more easy, things that the eye cannot pick up.
Very good. Yeah, so you've got the equipment to do well in low light, and also, if you wanted to, you
Yes,
could take photos and do a bit longer exposures and bring out anything that
exactly,
might be
Mark.
buried
That's
in
it.
the smoke, if you will. Yeah.
Completely correct. Yes, that's it. Yes.
Okay, Christian, is there anything else you'd like to share? Oh, I know what I'd like to have you share, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Even before the fires,
Hmm.
again, for those who don't know, Christian only moved there, bought this summer cottage just a few months ago, so earlier this year. And even before the fires, we saw these moments where you engage with wildlife, to include bighorn sheep. Just
Oh
driving down the
yes.
road, you'd
Oh
see these
yes.
bighorn sheep. Tell us about today's
Yes.
encounter.
Oh, I was going. This is what makes it so beautiful here. I just absolutely love the wildlife. Just as you said, there's so many osprey nests. You know, those are the fish eagles, osprey nests along the shore, and it's just wonderful to drive there and to watch them. And we have bighorn sheep between La Casa and Kelowna, which is about 20 miles to the south of me. So it's behind me. And yeah, just come walking across the street, and I usually drive very slow and take out my camera and hope that people are also, you know, as careful with wildlife as they should be and respectful. And it's just wonderful there. I had my camera here, my Sony camera, and I was just filming through the window because it happened so quickly as they crossed the street and then jump up and basically sprint up these steep hills.
Reminds you of
Beautiful,
one of the reasons why
absolutely.
you're there.
Yeah.
All right, for folks who don't know, Christian does
Absolutely, that's why I came.
yeah, Christian does a lot of not only wildlife photography, but also night sky photography. So that's a great location when there aren't fires and there are no
That's
clouds.
another reason why I came here.
Yeah. All right. Anything else
That's
you'd like
completely
to?
correct. But we had a terrible summer.
Yeah.
That's all. Thank you very much, everyone, and thanks
Yeah.
especially to all the helpers that we have in this area. Wonderful people. It's amazing how the community sticks together. I'm eternally grateful to, especially of course, to all the firefighters
Yeah.
and all the
Absolutely.
volunteers that have participated.
Yeah,
So
I've seen some
thank you,
social
Mark,
media.
for having me.
You
I
bet,
appreciate it.
Christian. Yeah, to your point about the firefighters, I've seen some social media where people are along the side of the roads and applauding those fire engines and other apparatus as they return to the station or set out. Very much a heartfelt thank you from the community throughout that region. Thanks so much, Christian. We're going to wrap it up. Really appreciate your time and giving us this live look at what's going on at Okanagan Lake along the northwest corner there and the edge of
It
the
was an
White Rock
absolute
Lake
pleasure,
fire.
Mark.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
You bet. Thanks, Christian.